There's a thin line between heroism and madness.
Here the line fades to nothing at all. This is a world of capes and lunatics.
And nothing is off limits.
Good morning, USA and the whole entire planet Earth. This is the Capes and Lunatics, episode 20. I am Phil, and I am so excited because we are all here today. All my friends. That's right, I only have 3 friends. You got Lilith, Why Am I Up This Early, Hellfire. You got Tyler, ready to go. His hair's all done, Patrick. and Charlie, I do not require sleep, Esser.
Coffee.
Yeah.
Coffee. Yeah, coffee. Yeah, just like his apple.
No.
Coffee.
No, that's actual coffee from a store.
Irish coffee?
No. Actually, I'll be honest, I've been listening to some older podcasts, and I'm starting to realize maybe there's a problem that we need to work on. So we're going to try to be a little more circumspect in our apple juice consumption.
What
well,
problem?
there goes the Jameson for Christmas gift.
No. Just not on the show, that's all.
What problem when we talk for an hour and then you message me like 2 hours later and be like, I don't remember the last half hour what we talked about.
Oh, did I ever do that? I don't remember ever messaging you that. And actually, Lilith, it's Jim Beam. If you do want to send me alcohol for Christmas, I'm a bourbon man, and I like the Jim Beam. I like Jim Beam White, the classic. You know, I know that you can get the black and get all the fancies. I like a nice working man's bourbon. You know?
Alrighty,
it's better than Heaven Hill. It's better than Heaven Hill. I mean, I do drink Bullet. You know, if you really want to be fancy, Bullet's a very good one. But no, I just like good old basic Jim Beam.
Locked away in the file. Anybody else got Christmas requests?
Marvel DC merchandise.
Of course, Phil. Of course.
Phil's
working on a Nightwing thing for you right now.
Phil's the easiest person to buy from all my Christmas list.
Exactly.
So what's on the agenda today, Phil?
Well, should we start with Gotham, the second episode of season 4?
Yeah, sure.
Oh, there's a second episode?
Everybody's like crickets.
Well, last week was the premiere, and then Charlie, if you weren't busy with your coffee, there was one past Thursday also.
I have like missed so much of, because like they've moved everybody's days now, so I have no idea when anything is on, and I'm lost in television land now. I have no idea what's going on.
Wait,
that's what DVRs are for.
Wait, Berlin tore down that wall? What?
No, I remember that. That was in the 90s or late 80s. That was pre-apple juice. But no, I it's like when I missed Young Sheldon. You know, I was like, wait, Young Sheldon premiered? What? Did I miss?
Don't worry, it'll be
Big
back
Bang
on in
Theory?
6 weeks.
I know, but I gotta like figure out what it's like. No, and then I was like, oh, Gotham's back, and then like I'm watching Inhumans the other night, and they're like, oh, and now it's the season premieres of all these shows. And wait, didn't those already have season premieres? Wait, what? And everybody's moving to new days and times. I'm getting too old for new days and times. Okay.
Too much beverage.
Yeah, too much.
Wait,
Too much
it has
something.
to be a
I don't
Morty
know
burp. You have to go get one of those.
What?
Has to be a Morty burp from Rick and Morty, or Rick burp.
Oh, that's
whatever.
a Rick burp. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, Dan Harmon burp.
All right.
Gotham was. I watched it this morning. I've been up since 6 trying to catch up on my shows, Orville and all that stuff. I told you the season 4 premiere was as good as it was gonna get, and I think I'm right.
Yeah, but Tyler Stabby Babs is back. Well, not so stabby, but
you mean the Atomic Blonde? The Atomic Blonde?
The White Rabbit.
The Atomic Gray.
Yes. No, actually, I did watch that, and I actually live tweeted it. Now I remember. Okay.
My favorite part of the episode was the end where it taught us it's okay to just ingest raw chemicals. It doesn't matter what it's going to do to you.
It's Gotham. They're already drinking raw chemicals in their water.
I was gonna say, especially in that town. I know it's just like, yeah. Well, I mean, she does have the
chemicals. Those were potions, magical potions.
Still chemicals.
Well, and she does have the judgment.
Don't go drinking nightshade, people.
And
That's what she gonna say.
Does she still have the judgment of like a 12-year-old? So, maybe
not after this.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Do 12-year-olds drink random like a 6-month-old? Yes, you got to lock that stuff up.
I don't know. Have you met the kids these days? I'm just saying.
I know, Lilith, aren't you a millennial? Aren't you a little young to be saying kids these days?
No. I'm 30. I can totally say that now.
Say, oh, those kids these days.
Now she can chase those kids off her lawn. Yeah.
I'm sure I do actually. Kids next door.
Oh goodness!
Back in my day, we locked ourselves in the house and played video games. Oh, Lilith.
No. Back in my day, we played video games, but we also went outside and rode bikes and poked frogs with sticks. See, I'm at that cusp.
Yes, and you know what?
We're the in-betweeners, Lilith.
Exactly.
We're that small pocket generation that's not millennials, but not, we're like caught in between, so we get the crap from everybody.
No, but here's what I'll say about letting your kids play online is I know I almost drowned as a kid playing in swamps, and I know my kids won't drown online. So I think as far as exploring the world, that's probably the safest way to explore the world rather than I'm going to go jump off this rock. Oh, there was a sinkhole underneath.
Well, if you want to let kids do that, that's what Minecraft is for.
Yes, well, exactly.
Throwing people
until
off
the zombie apocalypse. And then when it hits, all the kids will be like,
crossed. I bought all this ammo. Fingers crossed.
Oh, Lord, that's right. Lilith has, her love of archery has been rekindled.
Yay! She will be the new Arrow.
Hey, the ratings will go up.
I'm just trying to live up to the nickname Phil threw on my shoulders, Speedy. So
Speedy.
There you go.
All right, but no. Speaking of video games, Lilith, did you get the SNES Classic?
I did, and I am still trying to beat Star Fox 2 all the way through. I'm on like level 6.
Oh, Star Fox.
But Star Fox 2, like I can't believe how good the graphics are for that time. Like I know that like when they said they weren't going to release it, they ended up going on to the next game console, which is why it didn't get released. But it was really good, and they could have really cleaned up. It's good.
I looked for it. I couldn't find it, but I didn't go out at midnight like some people.
Actually, I didn't even go out at midnight. I went to the Walmart, one of the Walmarts around my house at like 6 a.m. before I went to work. And there's like nobody waiting for it. So there's no nerds in my town. Yay!
Got that nerd market covered.
Got it locked down.
Zynga.
Basically. Yeah, if you guys can find it, don't pay more than $80 for it because I think that they said they're gonna restock it in like 3 months or something like that for Christmas.
Yeah, probably gonna say Christmas. Yeah. I'm sure they're kind of.
So is this like what came after ColecoVision?
Well, what it is basically it's like Super Nintendo, but now it has like the HDMI cable and it's smaller and it's got like the top 20 games that have sold for the Super Nintendo, and then the big thing was the Star Fox 2 release. Mm-hmm. So basically, if you like Super Nintendo, but you don't, you can't really play the old game consoles on your newfangled TVs. So now this comes with HDMI cable and all those things. So it's really cool. I got the Nintendo Classic too that has the HDMI cable, and I say this is definitely an upgrade. They fixed a few things, like they made the control cables longer and things like that. So I only paid like $80 for it, so it's pretty cool. Yeah. I still have my original Super Nintendo somewhere around here. I was looking for it. Now I just gotta find an old TV, old box TV.
Yeah. Go to garage sale. Me? No. Well, no, man. I like. First off, we were like late adopters to the 2600. It's like we got the 2600, the Atari 2600 for you kids who don't know what I'm talking about. Back when like they were already on to like the 3800, you know, and then we never got beyond the Atari 2600. I think no, we did have a Sega Genesis once. We did, and we had that Paperboy game, which I loved. That was my favorite game, Paperboy.
Dude, I'm like the biggest Nintendo nerd ever. I love Nintendo so much. Like, that's my childhood right there.
I mean, my friends had that stuff. You know, we weren't those kinds of people.
Screw you, Sonic.
Yeah.
Game over.
Wow.
No, we had broadcast TV for most of my life, and you know, and we did get cable when it first came out, and then we got rid of it because that costs money. And so I was like right there at the start of MTV, and then I had to go away from MTV, and then like in my teen years, just as MTV was like fading away, I got back into I was able to get cable again, you know. So there's a big chunk of my life, but you know that actually is important because that tells me a lot about people in Michigan as to how they grew up and whether or not they were fans of the state or fans of Kids in the Hall, because you could only watch the state if you had cable, but Kids in the Hall you could watch broadcast from Windsor.
Canada, right?
I'm sorry, what? Yeah, you get it from Canada.
PBS
yeah, you get it
or
from
whatever
Canada.
it was.
So you knew that if you were a kid who liked the state, it meant, you know, you had rich parents and you never worked a day in your life and you're basically have no soul. Whereas if you're a Kids in the Hall fan, then obviously, you know struggle and you know life for what it is, and you're a much more trustworthy and honest person.
Or you could just be a Canadian file, you know? There's Anglophiles. I don't know if they call Canadian people who love Canada.
Yeah.
Canadian culture.
Poutine forever, man.
Anyway, I hope Gotham gets better. Like, I hope it lives up to the premise that they set up for the season 4 opener. Might not live watch, might not live tweet like you guys, but I'll keep my eye out for Gotham.
Yeah, I mean, it was an enjoyable episode now that I'm remembering it. I liked the Babs Penguin dialogue because when he's talking about, you know, shooting boyfriends and everything, I was just thinking, you know, and how that upsets people. That I was thinking, is Penguin talking about himself and why he hates himself? Because he shot his boyfriend. He's got a lot of self-loathing.
Well, to put it this way, Gotham's never subtle, so.
Yeah.
True. I mean, what's everyone think of Batboy?
My favorite meme has been the one that shows the Bale Batman and says long ears, the Affleck says short ears, and it says no ears. Because like it just feels awkward seeing him standing there like no ear, nothing, like on the cow.
Okay, here's one thing I wanted to say, because this was one of the things that like really bugged me about it when Lucian Fox, and just struck me like, who is running Wayne Industries right now? It's just the Court of Owls, right? Like they're just full on baby selling now, right? That's just
Court of Owls is gone.
Okay, so is Ra's al Ghul running it?
I guess
he's gone too.
Someone's running it because it ain't Lucian Fox. It ain't. They have
a board of directors that.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's just
composed of.
It's just your run-of-the-mill corrupt 1%. Yeah.
Secretly, it's Lex Luthor, but we're gonna save that for later. Yeah. So we're gonna come to find out. It's gonna be a Supergirl crossover, and Lena's gonna be like, "I have a brother."
No, it's
freaking Gotham into that multiverse.
No, Gotham's gonna get revealed to be in the same universe as Smallville, just because I want to see Bruce and Clark hang out in their jackets together.
Are you sure? Are you? Hey, Tyler, are you sure? Because Tom Welling is sounding good enough to do certain DC shows.
Oh yeah, we'll talk about that.
Exactly.
Yes. But no, I got very mad because, you know, he comes in and says, oh, it's this super lightweight, bulletproof material. I'm thinking, you know, if they sold that to the Gotham PD, maybe they wouldn't be so worried about facing down lunatics every day. You know?
They don't have no money, though.
It's the same print. It's the same scene from Batman Begins where they're like, you know, they figured it wasn't worth the average life of a soldier. So I mean, it's the same. It's the exact same scene, just watered down for TV.
Yeah, Charlie.
He's presenting.
Yeah, but
I'm supposed to line your pockets if you're buying people body armor.
Yes, but again, it's this thing. It's like maybe Bruce Wayne could do a lot more for Gotham than Batman can. You know, it's like maybe he could take that loss because he says, but this is going and for what it's worth, there are cities that aren't Gotham. The the Metropolis PD, which is just rolling in cash. They're going to say, yeah, let's get that too. We're not going to let Gotham show us up. You know, I mean, that's the thing. It's like these are clearly things that had value. But
again, Alfred is raising Bruce, and Alfred is a selfish renegade. I don't know what his deal is, really, especially in this universe.
He can
slapping little kids around.
Yeah, the problem with Alfred is the Waynes were not good parents, and they did not plan ahead because they didn't make Alfred an executor of the estate. They just they just gave everything to Bruce. He has no executor, and he can fire Alfred at any time. So there's no power dynamic that Alfred has there. All he can do is like let him go, and then maybe follow him around to pull his bacon out of the fire. It's no wonder Bruce grew up to be a sociopathic loner. You know, it's like this guy is not a good parent because he's not a parent. He is an employee who's hired to cook and clean. That's all his job is. You know, and he can give advice, really, and that's great.
Weren't butlers technically like I forget, like back in like the English days, they had something to do with like being at the top levels of handling the household or something like that.
They were like the head of the servants.
Well, yeah, he's the head of household affairs, but quite frankly, he's still only an employee of Bruce Wayne. He is not. He has no authority over him. He can't say, "I'm taking away your bat toys." He can't say, "Go to your room," and no batarangs. No batarangs for a week, Bruce. You understand? No batarangs. And Alfred taking away my batarangs. And but then if he did that, then maybe he's gonna maybe what I'll do? I'll just use my money I'll give other people batarangs. I'll give the cops batarangs, and that way the cops can kill the bad guy. You know, and do that. And then suddenly Bullock's like, hey, I'm bulletproof. Let me go fight some Jokers, you know. Best Joker origin ever, by the way, with the fear gas in I mean, you got that, right? That was the doctor became the clown, and that's why him and Harley connect, you see. Oh, gods.
Need a pudding button just for that. Let's talk about something else infuriating, I guess.
Thanks for reminding me that I actually watched Gotham. I had totally forgotten I watched Gotham.
Did we all watch the Orville?
Yes. Oh, I love that. I'm sorry.
That. It's better than Discovery. I can't get behind Discovery right now. Maybe I need a couple more episodes, but too bad it's behind a paywall.
Nah.
You mean, Lilith? You mean you don't like how the first two episodes were just one giant movie setting up the show?
Exactly.
And then you don't actually get to see the show?
Yeah. What I love about the Orville, because I haven't seen anything from Star Trek Discovery yet. I haven't gotten a chance to watch it. You know, I'm not crying over it. I barely watched Enterprise, so it's like at a certain point.
We all agree you can skip Enterprise.
I think that's I want Pike back. Why do they keep on going back and not doing a Pike story? Pike and Number One and young Spock, man. And, that is a good premise. You can even go into that whole Vulcan's Glory story, bring on Montgomery Scott as like an ensign engineer. There's some great stories to tell there. But, I don't know why they're afraid to do a Pike story. Just because, I
don't know why they're afraid to go into the future and stop going into the past.
Yeah, after Voyager, yeah.
I have a theory. They come on, let's just be real. For all intent and Gene Roddenberry's been dead for how long? Like they would like if you think they screw up the past, I don't. And plus, there's like no hope. I feel like the writers just lack hope. So what's the point of writing Star Trek if you feel no hope? So I'm glad that they don't do that. You know what I mean?
They actually set up a backdoor pilot for a future set one, which was sort of the time trekkers. But what they also established was that basically the ship is just a one ship with one guy in it, and you can't tell a story about one guy in a ship traveling throughout time and space. Oh wait, no, you actually do need you need a companion too.
I was gonna say, hold on.
You need a companion.
That's at Charlie Esser.
No, yeah, but I mean, that's the thing is, I think that it's hard to go into the future because it's like I think they've exhausted their, I think they've exhausted their sense of the future because it's like, well, how do we make this technology seem future-y enough?
And I'll tell you what, have you guys ever seen Earth's Final Conflict? Because that's about the future and that's bleak and grim. So that's where kind of that idea, and that's a Gene Roddenberry show too.
Well, here's my question. Yeah. Discovery, is that supposed to be the beginning of like the original TV universe, or is this like the beginning of like the Chris Pine, J.J. Abrams Star Trek universe?
It's the TV verse. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it would go Enterprise, Discovery, original series, etc. So I mean, it falls into that. It's just I don't know. They just keep trying to put stuff in that.
I think they should do something after, like in between TNG and maybe DSN. You know.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
That was a great. Those two, like when they flowed, how they flowed into each other. Mm-hmm. So.
But I agree with the group. I mean, I think the Orville is better. I mean, just that's what we needed, a disgruntled ex-husband.
Well,
it parodies, but it tells the truth. You know what I mean? Like it's just parody has more leeway than like actual just blatant telling the story how it is.
It's not satire, and it's not burlesque. It is really a straight Trek show without all of the with more human qualities. It's actually what they've been trying to do with all of the Trek reboots, kind of this idea, well, what if we made them more human? But they still want to make them be space gods. And this is like, no, they're just humans who work on a starship. You know, they have petty foibles, they have their internecine business politics like you're going to have on any ship. It's probably closer to what you'd actually see if you were a guy on a Navy ship. Probably closer to what Roddenberry experienced when he was, I believe he was in the Navy in World War II, you know? You have a bunch of guys on a ship and you're hanging out and, you know, sometimes the captain's cool, sometimes he's kind of a jerk. That's not where I was going with that, Phil, and you know darn well I wasn't.
Charlie's not me. Come on, Phil.
Yeah, and I was so mad that I missed that the episode because I missed the I haven't gotten the chance to go back to it. I didn't see how the transgender episode ends with the two guys because they're only men on their world and they gave birth to a daughter and it's like now what do we do? Culture that we correct the deformity and I was waiting that the reveal was going to be as it turns out like 50% of our people are actually born that way. We have to do this all the time. We just don't tell anyone about it because it's, you know, our thing. I don't know if that's how they resolved it, you know. I was waiting for them to actually point out that, like, you know, one of the actual parents actually was that too, you know. That their entire society was built on lie. But I missed it, so I don't know what they did. And I got to go back and watch it. Well, if you watched
Nobody ruined it for Charlie.
Yeah, I saw it. Yeah, don't spoil it.
Okay, I hope it's good. And I really, you know, I loved in that last episode we saw that, you know, they're having that fight, and that was cool. And it was this whole thing of how much, and I forget the guy's name, how much he didn't really want to fix the problems in his marriage. Because it's like, well, now I'm up, now I'm just going to go to work. It's like, well, if you're up, why don't we actually just be together or talk? I just don't want to do that. I don't want to work on my marriage. That, you know, not since O'Brien and
Keiko.
what was his Keiko? I thought it was Keiko. O'Brien and Keiko on DS9, have you actually had to deal with people whose marriage was falling apart and how you fix it? So I love that.
Poor O'Brien.
O'Brien's cool. I like O'Brien.
So I'm the only one to watch Young Sheldon, or no?
No, I saw it.
Okay.
I was so excited about it, and then I found out, oh, it premiered great. It had the best premiere numbers ever. I'm like, what?
No, it didn't. Supergirl beat its numbers.
No, for a sitcom, I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was like the best premiere.
Season 1 of Supergirl on CBS can be debatable whether or not it was a sitcom. Sorry, Tyler.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, but I remember when I was tweeting with the Orville, and someone was like all excited about Adrian Pilecki and making the Mockingbird reference, and I, about how that was such a Mockingbird moment when she's being interrogated, and I made this point. I know it almost makes you wish you saw her Wonder Woman.
No, you don't. No, you don't.
Yes, I know.
It's so bad.
It is terrible.
It's even worse that it's the work print, not even the full show.
It's what's even worse is the actual script, the original script for the pilot.
Oh God.
Okay. Well, that's why I said almost. But I'm very impressed by her as an actress, and I'm sad that we're getting Hunter back and not Mockingbird in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. this season.
Loved her's the girl on fire on the ceiling, aka Sam's girlfriend. And she was technically the first Supergirl, right? Like on Smallville.
Yep.
Oh. Okay.
Or she was, if you want to say, she was also the siren that died on Aquaman.
Oh yeah. No wonder she dissolved her relationship with the CW.
She was like, I'm tired of getting cast in these shows and getting killed off.
Yeah.
Or the show not getting picked up.
One and done.
Oh, I'm so mad about that. I was so looking forward to whatever they were going to do with the Mockingbirds, with Marvel's Most Wanted. And is the pilot out there anywhere? Can I see that somewhere? Did they actually make a pilot, or did they not even do a pilot? Did it die before pilot?
Just do it!
Does anybody know?
I haven't heard
I don't think they ever filmed.
I don't think it even made it to the pilot part.
Oh, that makes me so mad.
Hey, if you know the answer, please post it in the comments below.
Yeah, and if you have a link to the pilot.
If you would like to bootleg something for Charlie Esser, capesandlunatics@gmail.com.
Hey, if they're not, my motto is, if they're not releasing it, that is public domain. It may not be the law, but that's my feeling. You create something and you don't release it, that offends the gods of art.
It's gonna be on Disney's streaming channel. Just you wait.
Oh, that's they're gonna revive it. That's how they're gonna revive it.
Yeah, you know what? That's the only way they're gonna get me to spend an extra $10 a month. Quite frankly.
I've said it once. I'll say it again. If anybody has their own streaming channel, Disney's the one that can pull it off the best.
Yeah.
They have enough content over years, and they own enough stuff that they can make it more interesting than anybody else.
Yeah.
And I will probably be a sucker and have the DC streaming service when it comes.
Me too, but that's only because Titans.
Titans,
Because of Titans and Young Justice.
Yeah.
Just keep, come on, Phil, just keep going.
That's what it's all about at the end of the day.
Yeah, but how sustainable is that
business
business
a rap
model?
Yo, yo. Gotta watch my Titans.
Yes. But no, but really, how sustainable is that as a business model? That
It's
streaming
not.
service? Because here's what I'm going to tell you. You have this problem with any streaming service, which is if you binge it, now what do you do? It's like once I was done with The Incredible Hulk on Hulu, it was
Get a month and cancel it.
Yeah, exactly. You get it for a month and then you cancel it, and then you've got to have enough backlog good content and have new content constantly coming in
Well, that's why.
Warner Brothers has that definitely though.
Well, that's why CBS is doing the Discovery one episode at a time every week instead of just dropping it all, so it's all there.
And they're gonna take a break in between season 1 too, so it's like a 2-part season 1 to help prevent pirating because they know most people just kind of want to download everything and like binge it, so they're just piecemealing it. So
here's my thought on the on those digital platforms. The strong ones will crush the weak ones.
Yeah, of course.
Let's get ready to rumble.
And you watch. Netflix is going to come out on that. Netflix because Netflix knew they needed to have their original content. And honestly, I'm tell you, Netflix's original content is better than just about anything else I've seen. Now, granted, I've only seen a few of the other things, but it's like Netflix has a way to have you have something that isn't a property, like Bojack Horseman.
Perfect segue.
Yeah.
Did anybody else watch season 4 of Bojack, or is it just me and Charlie?
Just you and Charlie, I think, right now.
So I just want to say that the theme of season 4 of transgenerational trauma was phenomenal.
Oh gosh, I mean, yeah, this is you can tell Arrow this is how they do a flashback.
I don't know if Arrow's typical audience could handle that particular flashback format.
I mean, it was so great. It was so great. But that actually brings me to an interesting point that I had read recently, where someone was making this point about you're not supposed to identify with Rick Sanchez and BoJack Horseman because they're objectively horrible people. And actually, what I always say on that, what my response to that is actually you are supposed to identify with them because yes, they are objectively horrible people.
If you can identify with Walter White, why can't you identify with BoJack Horseman? Hold on.
Well, no. What I'm saying is, and I've never watched Breaking Bad either, so I have no idea how horrible of a person he was. But with BoJack Horseman or Rick Sanchez, the point is that yes, they are objectively horrible people, but they know they're objectively horrible. Thank you very much.
That's really nice. Thank you.
Okay, and they're actually trying, unlike other people, they're actually trying to improve themselves because they know they're horrible and they want to be better people, and they just don't know how to be better people. And isn't that every human story? We are all objectively horrible people, for the most part. But if you are a good person, horribleness, and want to be better.
I think the thing I like most about BoJack, though, is that it doesn't need the main character, as we saw in the season premiere, to be, good. And I didn't even realize until the end. I was like, oh yeah, BoJack's still missing.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, I think BoJack Horseman has one of the most amazingly built universes that we have out there. And honestly, Mr. Peanut Butter, voiced by Paul F. Tompkins, which I love. Paul F. Tompkins doing Dave Coulier from Full House. And it is such a brilliant bit of casting. Because Paul F. Tompkins, he actually is known as a dark comedian. Often in his original show, in his earlier shows, he was very apple juice centric. He has issues with that kind of stuff, and but then you cast him as
this upbeat,
Dave Coulier, and no, the character is so based on Dave Coulier from Full House, possibly even Dave Coulier's stage persona
himself.
In general. Yeah, well, actually, Dave Coulier's actual self is a little darker too.
Yeah, I was gonna say his stand-up. I saw it once on YouTube somewhere. Woo! It's almost as bad as Bob Saget.
Yeah, no, they were best friends, man. Cut it out. But yeah, and I think that's why they both loved, or why they did Full House, because it was such a departure for themselves, and why they are still doing it to this day. Because to them, it's hilarious.
This will be hilarious. Watch this. No one will get the joke. And they're like, wait, that's what we're known for now. We didn't get the joke.
Well, except now that they then use that platform to say, and here's who we really are. And now we all get the joke, you know.
But yeah, I thought I don't know how I felt about it ending on a more upbeat kind of note than it usually has. Like, I'm still on the fence about that. But he's grown a little bit, so I can understand why they would do that.
Yeah, well, exactly. And you know what? It's not that it's on an upbeat note. It's that
for Bojack had an upbeat note.
Well, yeah. Well, I think that's the point. It's like, yay! I didn't murder my child star friend, you know. And actually, I've always thought that it ended on an upbeat note. I mean, I thought the end of last season was actually a pretty upbeat note because it is. He goes to find himself, and it is very much a open-ended ending that left you with, oh, okay, and he sees the horses running, and he sees something in what it meant to be a horse. And yeah, are we doing spoilers for this season, or are we like trying to be nice?
It's been out for more than 2 weeks. I think we're good.
Okay, yeah.
Oh yes.
Honestly, so heartbreaking. And for what it's worth, this had such a heartbreaking middle between Bojack's grandmom and just promise me you'll never love anyone as much as I love Cracker Jack. Dang, man! It was the 50s, baby.
I guess.
Yeah.
I'll never say I was born in the wrong time. Well, obviously I can't. But anyway.
Yeah, you know. Yeah.
That was crazy. I was just like,
oh, yeah.
But Cracker Jack? Oh, the Cracker Jack story.
I know. And, you know, and what it is, like you said, it's about generational trauma. And you understand Bojack's mom a bit more now when you see what she grew up in. Now that doesn't excuse, and this is what I think is the point of the season. It doesn't excuse her behavior. It explains her behavior. Just like it doesn't excuse Bojack's behavior, it explains his behavior. And the scene with Henrietta when they're discussing what to do about the baby, and you get her real moment of humanity.
She could have just said the A word and been done with it. Like, I'll support you, but you have to get completely rid of it, you know?
Yeah. Wasn't that actually the suggestion at first?
No. She always wanted to put it up for adoption.
Okay. Well, yeah, you know.
Other A word.
We all, I guess we have to. I'm sorry, we're boring the guys who haven't watched this show yet. But
you guys should really watch Bojack. Like, at first, like the pilot episode's tough to get through, but once you get to like episode 3, you can literally just binge all 4 seasons and not look back. It's such a great show.
It's on my list along with Rick and Morty.
Yep, yeah, mine too.
Oh, Rick and Morty has been really good lately too.
Takes time.
Had to get back and watch the last episode of ABC's of Beth, which I did think was a bit of a letdown from Citadel. I thought Tales from the Citadel was a really great series moment, and honestly could have been a season finale easily. That we're going back to the Citadel on Sunday. I'm excited for it, but yeah, the ABCs of Beth was just creepy and weird and wrong on so many levels. Did I guess no one saw the last episode of Rick and Morty yet? Okay. When I saw it, I missed it. I had to re-download the Adult Swim app just so I could watch it.
Hey, Tyler, do you watch Justice League Action with your kids?
Yep.
Is it only on YouTube, or does it come on like Cartoon Network?
No, it's on Cartoon Network.
Okay.
Yeah, Cartoon Network.
I watch it on YouTube. So
I just watched the episode this morning. It was cool. All the Justice League forgot they were superheroes. And
didn't we already do that though?
I
like
the Justice League and Justice League Unlimited. Like that was just like the perfection, and I don't think they'll ever be able to top it. I like Young Justice in a different way, though. Do you know what I mean?
That's why Justice League Action is so like different and random the way it is.
Yeah, I was gonna say
some different flavor. And
Lilith, did you like the Constantine Stargirl episode?
I did.
I watched that yesterday.
I'm like, Wait, this shouldn't go together, but it did.
Yeah.
I think Justice League Action kind of occupies sort of like how Batman Brave and the Bold did. Just sort of occupies this middle space between the more adult the more adult space and the very very child-centric space that you have for DC superhero girls and Teen Titans Go for younger kids and people like me who just never grow up, because I was a Toys R Us kid, man.
And they're going bankrupt.
Yeah, I know.
Hold on, wait a second. I'll be right back.
Well, yeah, all their Toys R Us kids aged out.
Well, also I just.
Oh my God, where'd she go? She hit the floor.
She had to get. Oh, she's got a giraffe. Is that officially a Jeffrey the Giraffe, or is that just a randomized giraffe?
You can say you were a Toys R Us kid, but only if you have this.
Oh.
The giraffe. Nice. I love Toys R Us so much, and it has so many memories, even though it's overpriced, and I understand why it's going bankrupt, because their business model is poop. But it was definitely a place where a kid could be a kid, and kids don't have that anymore, and that's what makes me really sad.
Hello, childhood trauma.
Yeah. No, I mean,
you don't have anywhere to go anymore. Everything wants to close.
I think Chuck E. Cheese is even going bankrupt at this point.
The darn internet.
Well, they've been going. And let's back this up a bit. They're going bankrupt.
From Michigan. Major Palace. That went bankrupt a long time ago.
What, Children's Palace? We had that here.
No, Major Palace.
Oh, Major.
Yeah, right. That's the name of it, right?
I don't remember.
We had Children's Palace here.
Yeah, it was called Major Palace, and it was somewhere in Livonia, Michigan, I think it was. And it was a Chuck E. Cheese knockoff, complete with animatronic animals.
Lil, if you're supposed to be the young, if you're supposed to be the young one here, you're like back in my day.
Yeah. I mean, a lot has happened between the time I graduated high school and right now, like just so much.
But let me just back it up here and make the. And I missed my high school reunion recently. I'm very disappointed by that. But I actually usually miss every other one, so I'll probably go to the next one. It's been like 25 years since I was in high school. Crazy. But the thing about going bankrupt is it's not the same as going out of business. Just ask Donald Trump. Kmart has gone bankrupt a couple times now, and it's still around. And it's still actually,
they bought Sears, so that kind of that's a little different. Like the way that they did it was so they could finagle something.
Yeah, and with the Sears thing, I remember at the time someone basically saying it was this attempt to tie two drunks together to see if they could walk a straight line.
I'm the king of debt. I'm great with debt. Nobody knows debt better than me.
Yes,
so apropos.
The fact of the matter is both of those entities are still in existence, and they both. For now,
I think really Toys R Us has no space in the market because they don't offer collector items. They're overpriced, and every time I've gone in there, they're empty, and they only have one employee. Every single Toys R Us that I've been to in the last.
Maybe that's Florida because
no, it's not Florida. I mean, the one
I started off in Brooklyn. My father gave me a small loan of $1 million.
The one that goes well here, like we have in the Columbus-based area, there's like 3 of them left, and the one that seems to do the best is the one that has the tie-in with Babies R Us.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Where they're one giant store, but like one side's Toys R Us and one side's Babies R Us.
Yeah, I think most of them are like that now.
Maybe Burlington Coat Factory somebody needs to look into that because I noticed that Burlington Coat Factories now have like Baby R Us. I don't know how recent a phenomenon that is, but.
Yeah, but you know what?
I went there last week to Toys R Us just because we had to hit Babies R Us also. And like you said, they have some cool stuff. Like they have toys, but a lot of it's stuff you can still find other places.
Yeah, and for cheaper.
I kind of wish they would just start. They would leave out their expresses, like what they do at Christmas, where they'll open up like Toys R Us expresses and shopping malls and stuff.
Well, that was gonna be my point. That was
the KB toys.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
See, they're gonna go the way of KB Toys.
Well, that was gonna be my point. Toys R Us. I mean, if you're like a straight just about toy store, and you're getting major competition from like your WalMarts, Targets, and whatever else, you're in trouble.
Wait, isn't even FAO Shorts out of business at this point too?
Oh, they're still around.
No, they're out.
No, they're out because they closed the one. I remember it was a big deal that they closed the one in Times Square.
Oh yeah, that's right. Now I remember. Yeah, but but here's the thing: as toy stores go, Toys R Us is kind of the last man standing.
It's the last dinosaur.
But for what it's worth, there is some cachet in that, and that is a brand that has value. And so, ToysRUs.com may wind up being a pretty valuable asset. You know, it's all about how you structure it, and you can have, because look, I took Tristan to Toys R Us the other day, for his birthday. Well, it was actually several months ago. Anyway, he was mad because they did not have as many zombies as he wanted. But they did have Five Nights at Freddy's toys. Well, he was actually looking for Attack on Titans toys because he had gotten really into Attack on Titans.
Yeah, they're not really big on the anime stuff in Toys R Us.
Yeah, but they did, like I said, they had Five Nights at Freddy's, they had Jason stuff, they had a lot of Funko Pop stuff. They had they had the standard fare of what you get at what it would take.
But as a girl, that collects like Barbies and Bratz and Ever After High and stuff like that, they just, and that's really where their market has been. And then their video game selection is A, overly priced, and B, old. Like they never have new stuff in there. They have
game over.
Yeah.
Somebody needs to have a talking with them if they're going to stay around.
Yeah, but GameStop has, here's what it is: all retail is struggling, especially specialized retail. But there is a market for specialized retail because big box can't really do specialized retail. So you're never going to have. I mean, Walmart may get here's the hot new game, but they're not going to have a bunch of new games. They'll have, here's the new Mario, because this is the year of Luigi, so here's Luigi Brothers, that they're going to have that, whatever they did a couple years ago. They're going to have this new game or this new system. You're still going to have a market for places like GameStop and like Toys R Us that do one thing and do one thing well. Because at the end of the day,
I don't know, GameStop does what they do well, but they do something.
Well, yeah. I mean, they do something, and not if you can't get it anywhere else. It's not that it's only overcharging if you can get it somewhere else cheaper.
Supply
that. It's gouging.
No, this is what the market will bear. And for what it's worth, you have to have things that you sell for more than other things, because otherwise you can't sell other things and stay in business at the decent market rate.
You know what? I take it back. You know what GameStop does well? I find some of the most exclusive Funko Pops at GameStop. So I take that back. Mm-hmm. That's what they do well.
And that
the Funko Pops.
And you know what? That's why my kids go to GameStop too, just for the toys and things like that. And in that sense, maybe GameStop becomes that smaller scale Toys R Us, and that Toys R Us GameStop merger could come out. Although I think, like I said, I think the Toys R Us Babies R Us crossover and merging themselves into just a Kids R Us concept, which is also one they own. Where it is toys, clothes, and accessories for your child from, 0 to...
Is that still around? I have never seen it.
Yeah, I remember that now that you say that.
Kids R Us was a concept that they tried to push as their sort of merged concept. But it never really took off because at that time they were still separating Babies R Us's and Toys R Us's. So people went to what they wanted for their things. But making yourself a big box store for all your juvenile needs is actually how a restructured Toys R Us can come out of it and actually be a better company in the end.
I don't know. Because Amazon, just buy Toys R Us, please. Let's just solve that right there.
Right to your door.
And then Amazon merge with Google, and then we'll have Skynet, and we can just all die in the apocalypse already.
You know what? I like to go to maybe it's just because I'm old. I like to go. It's like buying clothes. How can you buy clothes online?
I know my brands and I know the sizes for my brands. I do not need to leave the house. Humanity sucks.
Well, I'm not going to disagree on the second of humanity. I am.
Except for you three guys, y'all cool.
I wouldn't go that far, but what I will say is that I don't like to buy anything I can't touch. I like to know what this thing is I'm buying. I am an old man, and I like to touch things.
Yeah, I got brand loyalty. I know what works for me. I don't need to leave the house to go grocery shopping now, and I don't need to go leave the house for clothes shopping, toy shopping, everything. Just come to my house, and the only thing I'll leave.
And I'm supposed to trust some stock boy to know what avocado is ripe? You think I have that much faith in humanity to have a stock boy pick my avocado?
Well, hey, I ain't gonna never buy an avocado or a banana or a melon. That I'm like,
okay, so that solves that problem.
Frozen vegetables. I'm lazy.
Yeah, there we go. Steam pack. Yes.
All right, so Lilith Hellfire.
You guys want to join in on this part of this conversation?
I'm just trying to figure out what we learned. Lilith Hellfire has shunned humanity and stays in her.
Slowly become agoraphobic. Like honestly,
stays in her bunker. And Charlie Esser's an old man who likes to touch stuff. Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, the name of this episode be just like $sign at this point.
You see, the difference between me and Lilith is I have just much I am just as much of a misanthrope, but I think misanthropy is only fun when you can share it with others.
See, you have kids though.
You have to go out. You're not that's the difference between a shut-in and a misanthrope. It's people have to call you a misanthrope. You got to go out there and be with the people to be a misanthrope. Otherwise, you're just
Lilith just loves to stay home and not deal with humanity and just deal with.
My 3 babies and my boyfriend. Yep, that's it. Got a big backyard with a high fence. Living the dream.
You have imprisoned them. That is
my dog's
the whole universe is just a lie. It's like Inhumans.
We'll save that.
Have agoraphobic dogs too.
Who read anything interesting, comic book wise or other?
Oh,
just the good old Action Comics.
Oh.
Yay!
With the interesting story unfolding.
Mr. Oz.
1 second.
Dr. Oz.
Yeah.
Is he going to be pushing green tea and whatever those fake things that don't work for diet pills, whatever that is?
Oh yeah.
Well, I know Tyler was like, "Why is Superman's grandfather on the cover?" I was like, "Hey, subtle advertising for Krypton if it ever comes out."
So,
right.
So Oz is Jor-El from Universe 1 or Universe A?
That's what it appears to be.
Okay. And how did he get Oz from Jor-El?
Oh, that's just the name he probably picked after seeing The Wizard of Oz or something. It basically was to throw us off.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
because everyone thought it was Ozymandias.
No. I just figured out. Do you know why he's Oz? Because he sent his son to Kansas.
Oh.
Take that, Andrew Dice Clay.
Jeez, that's extremely random.
No, but it makes sense if he's going to pick that name.
Lilith.
I love the Clay. Come on.
Hickory dickory dock.
Phil knows me.
Hickory dickory dock. Oh.
Little Miss Muffet.
Oh.
Anyway, sorry, Sat.
But yeah, Mr. Oz is everywhere this week. He was even in Detective Comics.
They just really know how to beat a dead horse. Like
that's right. Tim Drake is alive, and they basically just took his original origin verbatim and put it in half of this issue, right, Lilith?
Oh my god!
Word for word. I mean, I'm glad the original Origin's back. That New 52 Origin sucked.
Of course it did. It was New 52.
Exactly.
That wasn't Aquaman or Green Arrow. So.
Ding ding.
There we go. Yes. I did not read any DC books.
Although we weren't expecting you to.
They did have, as a free comic book this week, DC Superhero Girl, so we're going to give that a read soon.
I like those. I like the TV show and I like the book. I don't know about the comics. I haven't gotten a chance to get those yet.
Well, I'm going to find out. I'll give you a review next week. So
you might like Little Harley. I know Little Harley in the TV show is much more tolerable than Big Harley in the comic books or the movies or any other medium she might appear in. So.
Yeah, I like. I like the original Harley from the original cartoon. I haven't really read enough of her in
you
the
don't have to.
books.
You don't need beaver jokes in your life. It's okay.
Ever since they like dyed her skin, like made her into a Joker, I don't know. I kind of think you lose something with that.
Definitely.
You know, I think it was better when she was just, an Olympic level gymnast genius who liked to play dumb and was a bit sociopathic. I think that was a nice mix. It's actually kind of interesting, Olympic level genius who plays dumb and is kind of sociopathic is also a pretty good description of Bruce Wayne and Batman.
Just without the money.
Yeah, well, exactly. Hey, you know what? If Bruce didn't have money, he would be a criminal.
And we've played with that with other incarnations of Batman. And
honestly, what I say is if Bruce didn't have money, he'd be the Penguin. I mean, a taller, better looking Penguin.
Yeah, well, definitely. Yeah. I think that was the point of Penguin, actually.
I think, especially in his modern interpretations as the Cobblepot, it's like, he's the family that lost their fortune and had tragedy. And because money heals all wounds. Hey, you know what I like
America.
This week? This is a lenticular cover I can get behind. Where you just get that subtle color shift. I love that.
You got the lenticular one. Ooh, money.
That was all they had. Oh, was that more
okay.
expensive?
That's our catchphrase.
I don't know, but no, I got
the lenticular cover for Action just because I like the call to Horseman in it.
Yeah.
I did get Marvel Legacy Charlie, but I did not get the lenticular cover, and my comic shop guy gave me $1 off.
Ooh, good for you. Wow.
Stealing from the mom and pop store. Shame on you.
He
should with as much money as Phil Spence in there.
Yeah, honestly.
Amen, brother. But no,
my comic shop does that too sometimes.
This is the state of the business. I mean, he goes, I got so many. He's like, and I know I'm going to make money on the variant covers.
Yeah.
No, my comic shop, every so often, after he rings me up, I'll go, oh man, that came out this week, and I'll go to get it. And they just take it. Just take it.
Ka-ching is the name.
Because I'm there every Wednesday. They know and because I'm there every Wednesday, and I always buy my pulls. If it's pulled, it gets bought. I think I forgot to take Superman off my pull, so that's probably going to have to get bought next week. But I still haven't read any of my Superman, so goodness knows if they're any good.
So you can trade that out for Red Hood and the Outlaws. You can just trade it.
Yeah. I have to pick that one up. You got to get 3 reads before you get a pull. That's my rule. I got a 3-read rule. I got to be that interested that I'm going to get a 3rd read.
Then pull it.
But no, I really like Legacy. We got some Sleeping Celestials, and I didn't even see Captain Thor making out in the back of that.
You didn't see that the first time?
No, man. I was focused on Riri being a petulant teen. I totally missed that. I mean, yeah, Thor makes all these references, but, let's get busy with it. And then, and then, of course, we got our Franklin and Valeria back.
Who is Voyager?
No, Voyager is the trans Frank from Bayonne. You watch. It's Kobik, who is Frank from Bayonne, who is...
You and your Beyonder, love.
Yeah, I that's who it is, man. We got Generations Cap too. That came out.
That was really good. Yes.
That was a great story because Sam Wilson lives his entire life from 1940s to just before Cap goes all Hydra Cap.
Yep, he lives in that.
And actually sees himself becoming the Falcon. and
it was a good story. But did that remind you of that Star Trek episode, that Next Generation episode, where Picard lives that whole other life? Yeah. I
love that episode. I think everyone loved that episode.
Oh, yeah.
If you're going to steal from Trek, that's a pretty good episode to steal from, That's what I say, And we see Sam giving Cap back the shield, because he's got to be his own man.
Because that Falcon book is coming.
Yeah, well, Hey, not for nothing. They're not going to make, what's his name, Mackie Cap in the movies. You might as well play up Falcon if we're ever going to get a Falcon film. Mm-hmm. I'd love to get a Falcon film.
Sorry, they already did the Black Panther. Black Panther.
Yeah. They can have more than one black superhero, Lilith.
Sure, tell that to marketing division.
You know what? This is what I'm going to tell you, man. This is 2000.
I'm just saying.
Hey. I know.
I would love it.
The big companies, they're colorblind. They only see one color.
Green.
Well,
you want more black superheroes? People start buying the books.
Well, those books
just go see the movies right now. Just go see the movies. Quite frankly, because as I say, the books, they don't want to lose money on the books, but it's all about the movies and the T-shirt sales.
Yeah, buy the merch. Buy the merch. That's the rule we pull out of here.
Yeah, that is the way. You want to support a character, you buy their coffee.
And all DC fans know that. Young Justice. Why did it get canceled? Because we can't sell toys.
Yep.
And look at the teams go.
I will throw this out there. The Young Justice toys were not cool.
Did they even exist? I never saw one.
Yeah, they did. They were not cool at all. They're not toys I would want to collect or even have or even buy for Solomon, because they were just lame.
Oh. Was it in the stores, or is it DC Direct or something like that?
No, it was in the stores, because I remember I found a Kid Flash. I thought about buying on the clearance aisle at Walmart a few years back, and it was just tore up and trashed. They weren't good toys. Google them.
I will.
When you say it was tore up and trashed, was it? You mean it was like the late generation Migos where the arms kept falling off in the box, or do you mean it was just
someone had just beat the crap out of the toy, and the box was trashed and
returned
it just looked like it was falling apart? Yeah.
No, it might have been why it was on the clearance aisle.
Yeah, but I'm saying you can find good stuff on the clearance aisle, but that's all I've seen.
Yeah,
they're hard to find because they were just they weren't quality toys.
Yeah,
no offense, I don't think the Justice League action toys, they're very bland. They're something a 10-year-old would draw.
It's the action toys from
the
the
thing
90s,
that kills me though. Well, what kills me is there are more Justice League action toys they haven't released yet.
Yeah,
and it kind of makes me mad because
I want to get some of the different ones.
Because I even asked Mattel, why aren't there figures out that you can find online, the Green Lantern toy? I want to buy the Green Lantern for Solomon, but you can find it online, but you can't buy it. It just shows you not available. And they just released Cyborg, Wonder Woman. And there was another one they just released.
Was it Aquaman or the Flash?
No, because when they originally came out, they released Batman, Superman, Flash, Joker, and then a variant Batman. And that was it. And then they just released Wonder Woman and Cyborg and Green Arrow. That's what it was. Those are the ones I found one day. Oh, wow, this is completely random.
Well, and that's pretty much it when it comes to that. Isn't Mattel putting out those Justice League action?
Yep, I had a very interesting dialogue with Mattel.
Yeah, they're kind of weird about things that aren't their proprietary brands. Hasbro personally, but that's just me. Anyway,
I don't know.
Many things. So
well, it's the Justice League toys. It's the 12-inch. Have you seen the 12-inch Justice League figures they have?
Yeah.
like they make Flash and Wonder Woman, but they've yet to be released.
I'm telling you, they're waiting
find
after
them on-
Halloween when the Christmas season ticks up. I guarantee you.
So I'm kind of, because I'm keeping my eye out because I wanted to get Solomon the Flash, and just now they're starting to release the variant Flash figure of the 6-inch.
Have you checked eBay? Because like sometimes like the Chinese market, like over there,
Yeah.
they get stuff first and then they sell it on eBay.
I've seen them.
So
I just don't feel like paying eBay prices for stuff.
you definitely have to shop around, sort by price list, and you can find a seller that'll do it at a decent price. That's the only way to collect, really, especially when it comes to DC stuff. Just to be honest.
The Capes and Lunatics.
It's sounding like
game.
T-Pain right now, Lilith.
Sorry.
Capes and Lunatics drinking game. Anytime you hear this, take a drink.
You'll be drunk as heck.
You'll be dead with alcohol poisoning.
That's like watching doing the season 1 Arrow drinking game. Anytime Oliver takes his shirt off, says you failed this city, Laurel does something stupid.
Lilith goes,
Oh, Laurel does something stupid? Man, you'd be in trouble.
Yeah.
Boom.
Alcohol.
But anyway,
More free books. There was a lot of free books this week.
Really?
Well, in my store. Yeah, we got Foom, got Marvel Spotlight, all Hype and Legacy. DC wants you to buy Superhero Girls.
Yeah, I support that brand. It's pretty cool, actually.
Yeah, well, like I said, I'm excited to read it. I always worry it's gonna be like I said, the whole villains and heroes in the high school together. It's
just a
little weird.
It's just a different thing.
Yeah.
Although it actually does remind me of the Superhero High series from the 80s.
Oh.
What?
Don't mention that movie because it's supposed to be 4 of those movies. That Superhero High was so good with Daniel Panabaker. Yeah. They never made the rest of them, so I'm always sad.
You're talking about, I'm sorry, wait, you're talking about the movie?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm talking about, no, there was a cartoon in the 80s, like early 80s, might have even been late 70s. And it was basically, it was it was basically like a mashup of Super Friends and the Archies. So you actually might like it. And it was paired with Shazam and Isis. In fact, Isis is like a substitute teacher, like in the first pilot episode. And it's basically these, a group of pastiche kids, each with some randomized power. My favorite one was, of course, the fat one, who was the drummer in the rock band. And he was Weatherman, and he controlled the weather, man. And it was, which is, you never think about like what an insane power that was and how many like lame superheroes had it until Storm had it. It was, oh wait, that's right. If you have storm powers, you're basically Thor. And I don't even think Thor used his storm powers as much until Storm started using her storm powers. Everyone realized that's an amazing superpower.
Well, also she had boobs, so.
Well, yeah. Well, and that's what made people notice storm powers as a great thing. There is power in those,
I stand by the boob window, always and forever. Because Storm had a boob window too for a while, so.
Yeah.
A long while.
Well, you know what? I am not opposed. I do not take a stance on the boob window. If the character wants it, I endorse their right to have one. Although I wasn't sure how I felt about Medusa's boob window in the TV show, but we'll talk about that on Super Connectivity later. Because I got a lot of Marvel stuff to talk about that actually ties into that.
And of course, my picks this week are you know what's coming, Lil.
Yeah, I do. Go ahead.
Nightwing: The New Order _2.
Surprise no one, Phil. Don't be predictable.
Dark future where Dick Grayson has outlawed all superpowers until his son developed superpowers, because of course he was going to, because they revealed who is his mother, of course, Starfire. So of course the kid's gonna get powers.
So many people are so upset about that, by the way. Everybody knows it's gotta be Dick and Babs or nothing.
That's right. What?
Fire. No.
Oh goodness.
Too bad Clamor's not around. That would have been the perfect Clamor for this episode.
Why is Dick Grayson banning superpowers?
Because there was a big 3-day battle in Metropolis where basically every metahuman was like going at it, and he's like, no, this needs to stop. So
yeah, but why does that?
Because he turns into Bruce and he wants to be a crazy, evil, sociopathic dictator.
It's an evil dystopian future, Charlie. That's why.
Okay, but I don't know, man. Anytime we have to outlaw superpowers, it's like saying we have to outlaw, people who are left-handed.
Yeah, but left hands aren't destroying, killing people and destroying property values.
I'm sure some murderers and serial killers are left-handed.
Exactly. And that is actually kind of the point. Actually, you can do this just fine with your left hand. Left.
As a lefty.
Yes, exactly. It is so intrinsically racist, that, you can say we have to control superpowers, we have to have some kind of regulation around people who develop superpowers.
Registration program?
Wait, but Charlie, guess who's in his ear each issue telling him, what you're doing is wrong?
Batman?
Alfred Pennyworth. And you said the man can't control those kids.
This is a dystopian future, so.
Yeah, true.
How is he still alive? Is he like a cyborg?
He gets frozen for every 50 years. He just takes a freeze nap. That's all.
Lazarus Pit. I mean, they even showed it on Gotham. Bruce poured the Lazarus Pit water on him.
Oh gosh.
He survives He survives into every future except that Batman Beyond future.
Yes.
Because he would have been like 1,000. They would have had to just call name Methuselah.
I liked it better when he was more of a contemporary to Bruce. I liked that. But that was actually what I think that first started with the '60s Batman. That idea that Alfred should be older than Bruce, should be a father figure.
Yep.
I don't think I read any good books this week.
Not even an Archie book?
No, not even an Archie book. Archie 24. I don't know. Like, the best thing about the book was Betty, but I'm not a big fan of Betty. But they're definitely shaping her into something that I can relate to now, but I feel like it's a little too late. But.
So how did the whole so she's out of her coma, and is she in a wheelchair? Was I right on that prediction? No. So she's just got brain damage, closed head injury.
It's not even that. It's weird, and I don't like it. I'd rather read like Josie and the Pussycats and Jughead. I don't think I'm gonna be reading Archie for a while.
So we're just gonna steamroll over Ben Reilly, the Scarlet Spider. And
yes, we are.
And the Slingers. How dare you?
I'm kidding. Go ahead. Talk about your love for the Slingers.
If you love 90s Spider-Man books that weren't Spider-Man, hey, pick up Ben Reilly, the Scarlet Spider #8.
Yeah, I think that might be a very limited demographic.
And hey.
Much like Jason Todd, Ben Reilly has his fans. Okay.
If I could give you the virtual middle finger, Charlie, I would. All right, we did get a voicemail from our new fan Jason Sandberg. He's been all up. Every week he's been sending us. Seems like he's sending us something. I think he read something none of us did.
Oh, great!
Hello, this is Jason Sandberg with the spotlight on Future Quest Presents from DC Comics. Future Quest Presents is the new anthology title that will showcase the various Hanna-Barbera properties. The first arc features Space Ghost. Issue 2 hit your LCS last week, so there's still time to get on board. Writer Jeff Parker sends Space Ghost on a mission to the homeworld of the Herculoids to search for an element that will allow him to rebuild the ranks of the Space Force. Art is by the amazing Ariel Olivetti. As a child of the 1970s, I grew up on Saturday morning reruns of Space Ghost and the Herculoids. It is a thrill to see the world designed by Alex Toth receive a photorealistic interpretation by Olivetti. Olivetti is doing a masterful job of deciding when to maintain the quirks and cartoon anatomy from the original character and set designs. If you're looking for a quality, all-ages comic to share with your friends or family, I recommend you check out Future Quest Presents. Have a great night.
So
they love those Hanna-Barbera properties.
Yeah,
some of them are fun.
They seem popular with people. I mean, why not?
Back Wacky Races one was dumb though. I like the Flintstones one too though.
Yeah, the Flintstones was definitely their prestige book. That really. And here's what I'll tell you, man. After seeing what with the Orville, I kind of almost want to see his Flintstones.
And the Jetsons. Well, what happened is that it was a package deal with the Flintstones and the Jetsons, and then you do this, and then you have to let Family Guy go, and they're not letting Family Guy go. Okay, they're not doing it.
Yeah. Oh man, I wonder if he wants out of that. I wonder if that
he wants it out of it bad. He stopped writing for it.
Yeah.
He only does.
Please let me go away.
He really wants to do it. It's a shame, but it's a cash cow, so I can't really.
But you know what? I think the Orville has really. I mean, honestly, I think this is the best work he's done.
I don't know. I love Ted too, man. No.
Oh, see, I never really watched
Ted. First Ted is awesome. Thunder Buddies, freaking Flash Gordon references.
Yeah. I actually haven't watched the Teds yet, so that's.
You have to, but don't let Tristan watch. I mean, it's a hard R. I'm just saying. I'm not telling you how to pick. It's a hard R.
Tristan Esser, you mean toxic? You mean Toxin Gamer on YouTube?
Yeah, man. I don't know. I don't think he would like Ted because I think he'd be waiting for the bear to kill someone and be very disappointed. Oh, does the bear kill someone?
Almost.
Okay,
BC being asleep, you have to watch at least the first Ted. I don't think the second Ted is as funny, but they do go to New York Comic Con, or no, they go to San Diego Comic Con. No, it's New York Comic Con. Yeah, New York Comic Con.
All right. Well, I don't know if we want to do this for super connectivity or not, but I was going to say, Lilith, we were talking about this when we were recording Wayne's World the other night. We wanted Charlie Esser's take on the death of Hugh Hefner.
Bunny ears at half mast, yes.
Yeah. I actually wrote a nice little thing on Facebook about that. So I never met the man. I don't know who he was. My mom did meet him, said he was a bit of an ass, which I believe.
So do you want to say that for super connectivity, Charlie? He's pondering. Charlie, there?
He's thinking.
Look at him, he's thinking.
Deep thoughts.
Yeah, I think we lost him for a second.
Hugh Hefner.
I've been to the Playboy Mansion.
Oh, have
like
you
a long
now?
time ago. Like when I first moved to LA with my job, my first job right out of college, yeah, I got to go to the Playboy Mansion. It was pretty cool. The peacocks are awesome, although they're mean as hell.
What issue were you in?
No. I got to go as a part of work. It was like for a party, or it was like somebody had their movie release there. It's a little fuzzy because I did a lot of drinking back then. So
back then, okay.
And I thought it was really cool. The guy that bought the house to let Hugh Hefner live there until he died. Turns out he didn't have to wait that long.
Yeah,
he knew.
Something smelled kind of funny.
And so now he gets to redo the house. Although I would honestly just turn it into a museum and like write it off on my taxes or something like that.
Oh my lord, can you imagine those exhibits?
Talk about your bazingas.
Charlie just messaged me. I guess he'll be back. He's like, my computer ran out of power. That's when you plug it into the wall, dude.
What the fuck is a laptop? You have to be plugged into the wall.
Well, I'm sorry. I'm on my Mac. I always plug it into the wall, because I don't want that to happen.
Macs don't have great battery power, so
You shut your mouth.
Oh, I said I was gonna dog on Apple. Damn it! Week 1 complete fail. All right. Anything else on the agenda?
Nope. I gotta go. My baby's up. She needs attention.
Give the baby kisses.
So, I will. She needs changed and food and all that good stuff.
Alrighty, well then let's hit it, Phil.
All right, I'll do my many plugs. If you'd like to send us feedback for anything, like Jason Sandberg has been every week, capesandlunatics@gmail.com. Our voicemail is 614-382-2737. That's 614-38-CAPES. And upcoming events next weekend. The Southgate Media Group's online marathon will be right here on the Capes and Lunatics YouTube channel. It'll be all of us and our many shows, a bunch of our friends. I even have at least a half hour of live music coming, so.
Oh.
Yeah, singer. That's right. And then the week after, Friday the 13th, I'm doing an interview with cosplayer Alexandra the Red, and it looks like positive. I just put it up last night, and positive feedback. I mean, I think on Twitter we already got like 54 likes, which is like way more than we've ever gotten. Because she has a big fan base, so.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say something else.
No.
Fill up.
You and your potty brain, Lilith. How? Everyone's always blaming men, but she's like the dirtiest one here.
I grew up on Bob Saget and old Bill Cosby on vinyl. What do you want?
Oh, Bill Cosby. He got very dirty. His really early stuff is a little more mainstream. Then he got very dirty in the 70s, like everyone. And then he cleaned up back later.
Anyway, we should let Tyler do his plug. So he's going.
He's going. All right, JTY Patrick on Twitter. Krypton Report at Krypton Report on Twitter. All right, Dirty Minded Lilith.
At Lilith Hellfire for dirty jokes, and Arrowverse Live tweeting for everything else at Adventures in FG. That's Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, and Instagram. And please be sure to check out my website, adventuresandfangirling.com. I got to get a fancy jingle. I got to match Charlie.
And of course, you can always write to me in an old-fashioned email way, the way our Ma's and Pa's once did, at superconnectivityblog@gmail.com. That's superconnectivityblog, all one word, @gmail.com. And follow me on the Twitters as I live tweet Inhumans if I have to. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., yay! Gotham, The Orville, and other great shows that are now on this golden age of television. At Charlie Esser, that's CharlieEsser. And tune in a couple minutes for Super Connectivity, where you will get to hear what I actually had to say about Hugh Hefner before my computer ran out of power. Now I'm plugged in. It usually lasts longer. I don't know why it didn't. I usually have a much better battery life. But
there's holes in the wall, Charlie. You can put a power cord in there.
Yeah, I know. I was just being quick and easy.
As he was rushing to get his coffee. You leave the man alone.
No, what it was is I set it up. I was like, oh, well, it handled it the last time when I did my last Skype podcast. But this is video. And I forgot that eats up your battery a lot more. So, my bad.
All right.
You going to stick around for Super Connectivity?
Yeah, we're going to have a special guest. Yes, Lilith Hellfire, special guest on Super Connectivity 152. Check it out. If you're listening on the podcast, it'll be coming in probably a day or two. Hopefully.
Eventually.
That's right. This has been your Capes
and Lunatics!
Yes! It only took 20 weeks, but we finally did it right.
And it'll be messed up next week. Don't worry about it.
Send us gifts. We did it right. Next week, the next Capes and Lunatics, and all the shows for next week. Remember that online Southgate Media Group podcast marathon right here on the Capes and Lunatics YouTube channel. It's gonna be fun. Us and all our friends, and even probably people who don't like us. Good night.
Impossible.